Today I'll be doing the Proverbs chapter 22 right here. Even though I have to do it anyway. Proverbs chapter 22. Um, I'm going to read that quick. Proverbs chapter 22, read from verse 1. It says, "A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches." It says, "Loving favor rather than silver and gold." The rich and the poor, that's verse 2. The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all. Verse 3 says that a prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass all and are punished. Verse 4 it says, "By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life." Verse 5 says that thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. It says, "He who guides his soul will be far from them." Verse 6, it says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Verse 7 says, "The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." Verse 8, "He who sows iniquity will reap sorrow, and the rod of his anger will fail." Verse 9 says, "He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor." Verse 10 says, "Cast out the scoffer, and the contention will leave. Yes, strife and reproach will cease." Verse 11 says, "He who loves purity of heart and has grace on his lips, the king will be his friend." Verse 12 it says, "The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the ways of the faithless." Verse 13, "The lazy man says, there's a lion outside, I shall be slain in the street." Verse 14 says, "The mouth of an immoral woman is a deep pit. He who is abhorred by the Lord will fall there." Verse 15 it says, "Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child." It says, "The rod of correction will drive it far from him." Verse 16, "He who oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he who gives to the rich will surely come to poverty." Verse 17 says that, "Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise." It says, "And apply your heart to my knowledge." Verse 18, "For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you." It says, "Let them all be fixed upon your lips." Verse 19, "So that your trust may be in the Lord. I have instructed you today, even you." Verse 20 says, "Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge?" Verse 21 says, "That I may make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may answer words of truth to those who send to you, to those who send to you." Verse 22 says that, "Do not rob the poor because he is poor, nor oppress the afflicted at the gate." Verse 23, "For the Lord will plead their cause and plunder the soul of those who plunder them." Verse 24 says, "Make no friendship with an angry man. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man do not go." Verse 25 it says, "Lest you learn his ways and set a snare for your soul." Verse 26 says, "Do not be one of those who shake hands in a pledge, of those who is surety for debt. If you have nothing," that's verse 27, "if you have nothing which to pay, why should he take away your bed from under you?" Verse 28, "Do not remove the ancient landmark which your father have set." Verse 29, "Do you see a man who excel in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men." It says he will not stand before unknown men. So we just take two verses, then we are off today. 29 it says, "Do you see a man who excel in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men." I see this verse is trying to tell us that in everything we are doing, we should always seek and reach out for excellence. We should always seek and reach out for excellence, no matter the circumstance. We should do our very best in the work we do. He says you will stand before kings. If you do your things just like that, you won't stand before kings. You won't stand before prominent people. You will just stand before mere people who would take you for granted. But when you stand before kings, they won't take you for granted because they know you can solve their problem. They know they have to depend on you for a solution to their problem. They have to depend on you for a solution to their problem. So be excellent in what you do. Be excellent in what you do. Verse 6 tells us that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Most of the reason why there's crimes in this world is because people didn't have the right people in their life to train them in the way they should go, so that when they are old, they won't depart from it. People didn't have such people. People didn't have parents. Either their parents left them or they were dead. So now they found themselves in a situation where they have to learn from bad people. They have to learn from people who don't have integrity or people who just do bad things. So with that, this verse is trying to tell us that when you're a child or when you have a child, they should be trained. If they should be trained in a way that when they grow, they won't depart from it. In a good way. In a good way. Train them how to respect. Train them on how to be obedient. Train them on how to do the right things at the right time. And when they grow, they won't depart from it. They won't depart from it. So these are two verses. These are two verses. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next.